all of our missions, military intelligence begged for prisoners, live prisoners. My team leader stepped out in front of a lone VC coming down the trail. And Dong Lai means halt in Vietnamese. And he told him Dong Lai, and the guy did an about face and took off running. And he ran about 10 yards and turned left, right into me and my partner. And team leader yelled out, "Kill him." You know, and so we did.
That was your first contact with the enemy?
Right.
Yeah, you have to realize that when the Lurp companies were originally formed, they put out the call for experienced people throughout all the units that were in Vietnam to form these companies. So all the guys in the company were a lot older than I was. I was a replacement coming in late. And a lot of the guys started looking out for me because I was the I was the kid. I was only 18 years old.
I think the ROTC I had in college, and I think being older than a lot of those guys helped me too. I was 20 when I went to Nam, so I turned 21 in Nam. Most of those guys were 18 and 19. So I think the maturity level helped me in leadership more than the experience did.
To be honest with you, I personally didn't get any training when I went to the Lurps. They were looking for team leaders, people that had, and I had my previous tour, they just absolutely select me. Now I went out and worked with my team. We didn't get fancy. I think later on they came out, they put some rappelling towers out. I mean, we rappelled and we worked with McGuire rig extractions, but it was just more OJT than anything in those early years. I mean, it was just like, you have to figure it out. No book, no, you know. But the people that got, if you want to call it training, actually went to the recondo school, and they learned a lot about that. But as far as me, I mean, I walked into the unit and they said, "Okay, here's your team, go get them."
In the first place, when the day that you get to Vietnam, you get a certain level of adrenaline that stays in your body the whole time you're there, because you don't know who's the enemy, when you're going to get hit, and you're always, that apprehension is in the back of your head, and you're always on alert.
The adrenaline rush caused guys to do strange things, laugh, idiotically, you know. It was not comparable to anything else in life. Better than sex. One guy eventually ended up being our team leader. His first mission, we got into a really hairy situation. We got surrounded. And as the helicopter's lifting off, I'm singing a song from the Dave Clark 5. It starts out, "Here we come again, catch us if you can." And then the next verse is, "Now we gotta run, no more time for fun." And he thought I'd gone crazy, but maybe I did.
The bottom line, when you volunteer for a company like that, and this goes with Special Forces and with the Rangers and with the Lurps, if you decide that you can't handle it, you just raise your hand and say, "I quit." And nothing said. You know, you don't get called anything or anything else like that. They just cut your set of orders and you walk off and go.
I've never quit anything in my life. So if you're not gonna quit, you better get good.
And we spent almost a month just doing quick reaction drills up and down the company streets, to basically more training before we even went out on a mission.
I had some doubts, and I think as a young man of 20 years old, you have doubts and you rise to the occasion. And like John Wayne says, you know, being afraid and saddling up anyways, it's kind of that kind of mentality. And I got through the first night. There was a time when I remember they taught us how to do tracheotomies with a ballpoint pen. And they taught us how to give blood units, and we carried atropine syrettes, we carried morphine syrettes. We kind of learned how to, when we went to training, do the medical stuff. And I remember they had a body of VC that had been killed. They were getting ready to transport, and they showed how to do a tracheotomy on it. And I had never seen a dead body, you know, at 20 years old. And I remember the first sergeant put his hand on my shoulder. He says, "You'll get used to it."